Hello there, right here we have a brand new snapshot. This is for 1.16.2 and it is snapshot 20W30A. In this snapshot, we're going to go over a bunch of little changes that they made before probably coming out with the full release of 1.16.2. And remember guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe because I make a lot of videos covering all the new changes to Minecraft as well as cool things you can do with these new changes in your very own survival worlds. Now in this snapshot, they fixed some pretty major problems as well as many minor problems. And after this video goes live, we'll be testing out everything you see here in a world that we opened up to the viewers. You guys can join us. And we'll be streaming this all live, and you can find it on my Twitch link down below. Now let's get into all the changes for the newest 1.16.2 snapshot. The first big change that they did is they made it so that lanterns can now be waterlogged. We can place them underwater. Also, of course, place them above water here, and then we can also come in with a bucket and waterlog these guys. That's really cool that we can get light sources under the water very easily. Otherwise, you're kind of limited to a few different blocks, including sea pickles. Now, they made some changes to the way players respawn. When it comes to respawn anchors, it will prioritize the cardinal directions over the corners. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Do /kill. And we spawned right here. This is a cardinal direction. Go ahead and remove these blocks and do it again. You can see we get placed in a different area, but it's still a cardinal direction and it is the highest block. The priority will still go around and look for the highest block, but I'll choose cardinal directions over corners now. I also made some changes for respawning inside of beds. Let's go ahead and set our spawn point there. So now beds will prioritize the side of the bed that the player entered in from. So if I would like click in from this side, I should spawn over here. Go ahead and give it a try. And yeah, it looked like it's the same side, but it's just up here at the head point. If it can't find those locations, then it will choose spaces circling around the foot of the bed up to the head of the bed. Let's go ahead and just remove these two and try it again. And yeah, so it was put over here by around the foot of the bed. And they also did another change, which is when you do die, you're going to be facing the block which you were respawned from. So if I go on this side, click on the bed, and let's see, I'll die facing upwards. Go ahead and respawn. And now you see I'm facing towards the bed. So it's placed on this block, but facing towards the block which respawned me. And we should also see this with the respawn anchor. Die, and yeah, we're facing the respawn anchor. They also added so that the player will try to avoid dangerous blocks, such as like magma blocks. Go ahead and give it a try. /kill. Last time we were spawned right there on the magma block. And now it's seen that as a dangerous block, so it placed us over here. Obviously, if there's only dangerous blocks, then you're going to end up probably standing on one. Or if it can't find a valid location, then it will fail and put you back at your normal world spawn point. Now, one of the biggest changes that they did in this snapshot is they tweaked the loot that you get from bastions. Now, the loot tables for the chests that can be found in the bastions have been mostly buffed. But they also made not only tweaks by adding new items, but they also changed the amount of items you can find to increase some of them. And they also changed the weight, so how often you actually find it inside of a chest. I won't be covering the weight changes as it's kind of small, but I will be covering the changes to do with the amounts as well as the new items. So there is 4 different types of bastions. The first one here is the bridge. It's a huge bridge that comes off of the rest of it. And this is the one that also has a statue of the piglin. The first one that they actually tweaked was spectral arrows here. They increased it quite a bit. It used to be 2 to 12. Now they upped it to 10 to 28. Gilded Blackstone was 5 to 8, and now it is 8 to 12. Gold ingot got upped from 2 to 8 to now 4 to 9. Iron ingots also got upped from 2 to 8, also up to 4 to 9. There's a new item that can be found in here. This is gold axe that is enchanted. So that's all the new things for the bridge chest. Now this only applies to the chests that are considered bridge. Like this one is considered bridge, but like this was a generic one. Now generic ones can be applied to any of the 3 bastions, and these are called other, so they can also be found not only in the bridge, but they can also be found in the Hogland stable, as well as in the treasure and in the housing units. So with these chests, there's a pretty big change. They added diamond pickaxes. They're randomly enchanted. They also added in diamond shovels, but these don't look like they have enchantments on them. And both of them don't look like they have any durability removed, so they would be really good tools to find. Spectral arrows has been boosted from 2 to 15 to now to 10 to 22. Golden carrot has now been added. You can find them in amounts from 6 to 17. Gold apples have also been added in amounts of only 1. Enchanted iron swords have now been added, and they have some durability removed. Iron blocks have been added with a count of 1, but they did add in also enchanted golden axes into these chests as well. Gold nuggets have been boosted from 1 to 6 to now 2 to 8. The last one is cooked pork, which is another new item for this chest, coming in amounts of 1. So the housing unit is this type here. This is one that has the netherwort in the center. This is one that only uses generic chests. So opening one of these chests up, we can see some of the new items like the pork chop, the iron block, and even the gold apple. The third type of bastion is the hoglin stables. These are one that's quite open here in the center with hoglins that generate with the structure. Let's take a look at the changes that they made to this one. Now the stable chests don't have as many unique items. Now you can always get enchanted diamond shovel from them, but now you can also get an enchanted diamond pickaxe that has durability removed. Gold carrots can also be found in these chests now, as well as gold apples. Enchanted gold axes are also added to them. Bright obsidian has also been added to these chests. Glowstone got a small boost from 1 to 5 to 3 to 6 now. Gilded blackstone got a buff from 1 to 5 to now 2 to 5. Everything else is the same, and you can see some of the new loot inside of this hoglin stable chest. The probably the best bastion is the treasure one. This is the one with the gold here in the center, and the chests here in the center also are treasure loot chests, meaning they provide you all the new stuff. Let's take a look at what's all new with this one. Diamond has been boosted from 1 to 3. You can now find 2 to 6. They also added golden apples into this chest. Spectral arrows have been boosted from 5 to 21 to now 12 to 25. Gilded blackstone have been boosted from 1 to 5 to now 5 to 15. Magma cream got a small boost from 2 to 8 to now 3 to 8. So you can find some pretty nice stuff in here, like 2 ancient debris, some diamond stuff that you can easily update. Most of the new stuff that was added to the treasure isn't that significant. They made a change to sign edit screen. It will now initialize from existing signed text. And they say that this should have no impact on vanilla. They also made a change to tags, which are things you can type in like flower, and everything which is a flower tag will show up. Because they're having so many problems with different tags causing different problems when applied to wrong items, they now made it so that tags can be marked as optional, and failure to resolve optional entries does not prevent the whole tag from loading. I actually find this pretty useful, and it's really nice to come in here and just search for like one specific thing that are all categorized underneath the one name. They fixed the problem to do with villagers constantly opening and closing doors really fast. They also fixed it where villagers were getting stuck while trying to go through a door at the same time. In some circumstances, mobs are able to have double enchantments on their gear, and now they have fixed that. This came into cases with pillagers inside of raids, as well as the horsemen that come from the lightning strikes. I did a video about both of these circumstances and extremely rare stuff you can get from them. Like you can get protection 8 diamond helmets from these guys, which actually work way better than normal protection helmets. And you can also get some normally impossible types of crossbows from the pillagers, including piercing 1 and multi-shot on the same crossbow, which normally isn't possible. You guys can find both those videos linked in the description. Now these are now considered rares, as these things are extremely difficult to get. I think the rarest helmet is like 1 in 2 billion, and the rarest crossbow is 1 in 400,000. So yeah, they're already rare. Now they're discontinued. So if you want to get them, good luck. Try to get them before upgrading to 1.16.2. On Prototech, we have a lightning RNG farm, which is how we're trying to obtain the helmets. And if you're trying to go for a crossbow, definitely make the automatic raid farm. I have a new one that just released last week. It's really nice, easy yet fast. So you guys can check those out. Now in the past, if Vex didn't have anything in his hands when he's trying to attack the player, he would do the same kind of raising of the hands that we've seen with the Vindicators or Pillagers. Because of this, they will now have it so they raise 2 hands. They changed a death message for being killed by a wither skull. Let's go ahead and die from it. You can see it says Raise was shot by a name tag's skull. This is how it used to be. It didn't make much sense because right here where it says name tag, this is what I renamed it with a name tag. And it normally would say wither, a wither's skull, which made sense. But since we renamed him, it doesn't make sense. Now this has been changed, so it makes more sense. In the previous versions, the problem with the zombified piglins when they were chicken jockeys being down too low. You can see the hitbox of this guy is way down inside the chicken. His feet are down inside the chicken instead of being on top of it like you're riding it, like all the other type of jockeys. And now this problem has been fixed in the new snapshot. There was a bug that if you had a spawner minecart produce a spider jockey, it would crash the game. This was caused by an illegal state exception, being that the entity was already tracked. This should now be fixed. There was a problem when players were riding a strider, they'd be floating slightly above it rather than sitting on it, and now we shouldn't see that problem anymore. There was a null point exception during shutdown when recon enabled with no password. In the last snapshot as well as this one, they fix a lot of text issues to do with languages that use right to left reading directions instead of the left to right. They also fix a lot of different small grammar and punctuation errors throughout different areas inside of the menu, as well as in the code. There was a problem that saved data of the new nether biomes is lost when you upgrade a world to 28A or above. This was occurring when players were changing the data so that new biomes would appear in areas that they normally don't. And then when they updated, it was converting it all to the void biome. And it was only applying to the new biome. But now this should all be fixed. There was a problem that some features configurations did not load for data packs. And the problem was that if you would have some features in with another feature and those were causing an error, you wouldn't actually get the error message, so you wouldn't know how to fix it. Now with the new spawn points that you can have set so players are spawned in at specific rotations, it now fixes so it uses the Minecraft rotation parser. There's a problem that if you would try to place a block, but instead of using 1 colon, use 2 colons, it would actually crash the game. And we should no longer see that now. There was a problem with end city structures. Some of the larger ones are actually getting cut off. And this only affected the last couple of snapshots, but now this has been addressed. A lot of smaller problems that they fixed in this one, so hopefully they're getting close to doing the full release for 1.16.2. And if you guys recognize any bugs that are still in this snapshot, make sure to report them to the developers as well. Tell me down in the comments. And don't forget to join our snapshot testing stream, which you can find the link to in the description. We're going to be building farms using all the new changes, as well as updating old farms to these changes. And you can get all the information about how to join the server on my Twitch link. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!